Greetings, this is Chief She, Tammy Hamilton. Um, I'm doing this video to introduce you to, first to compel you to start your search to find your people. Do your genealogy, do your family history, right? Okay, excuse me. The first thing that I want you to do is, and I'm talking to the copper colored people that are in the Americas that may even still think that they're from Africa, but they haven't found any of that people there. And maybe by a DNA test, but no other records exist. The ones who we have believed were slaves here in the Americas brought over from Africa. Because we now know that's not true. So, start finding your family. If you're concerned with or want to know what tribe your family is, because we are the American Indians, if you want to know what tribe your family is, you don't just go pick a tribe. You find your family, right? You do your family history, do your family search, your family searching. I'm looking at this family search. So, the first thing I would like for you to do is to start having, if you're lucky enough to be young enough, to me, to have living elders. Take this opportunity right now. Don't wait. Even if you haven't talked to them in a while, take this opportunity right now to call them, go see them if they're close enough. Take a pad with you, pad and paper and a pen, pad and pen with you, and start asking them questions. Now, first, when you start asking your elders questions, they are not with those questions because they don't like to talk like that. But what you say is, I'm putting together our family tree, right? And so I need like the names of all of the people that you can remember. Like, what is your mother's name? If this is your grandmother, just what is your mother's name? What was her, do you know her maiden name? A lot of them won't know first names and maybe not even maiden names. Don't worry, don't push them to know the things that they say they don't know. Accept the information that they give you. Again, approach them as if they are elders and as if you got some fucking sense about how to be respectful to your elders, no matter what you think about them, whether you think they're alcoholics or whether you think they this or whether you think they crazy or whether you think they that. Hey, have enough common sense to approach them in our cultural way, which is to respect them and ask them these questions. Don't demand, just ask. You can ask questions like, do you remember what your mother's maiden name was? What was her maiden name before she got married? Do you know? Do you know what her mother's name was or her father's name was? Do you remember any of your, aunts and their children? Do you remember any of the names? Where were they from? Did they tell you where they were from? Did anybody tell you in the family that they were Indian? Just start asking those questions and write it down. Don't leave it to your memory, not unless you're recording it on your phone. But don't put that if you're going to record the session with your elder, don't put that phone in their face. All right? Put it down somewhere. Say, I just want to get, I'm trying to get records or whatever. But don't make them feel like you're interrogating them, because that's not what you're doing. You're asking for information, right? These are your ancestors. These are your elders. So go to them respectfully and ask. Don't demand, because a lot of people don't want to dredge that stuff up. And a lot of your elders believe that they can't find their family because they still accept that, some of them anyway, many of your elders will tell you they ain't from no Africa. But some of them still accept that they are from Africa and that they were slaves brought over from Africa. So don't push. Ask. Be respectful. Remember, we are cultural people. We are matriarchal people, and we do not abuse our elders. So if you can't get what you need from them, be respectful. Ask joke, and if nothing else, they may have stories to tell you. Those stories are valuable. That's how we've handed down traditions, by telling stories. Those stories are valuable. Get the stories. Don't disrespect your people. Get the stories, right? Ask every elder. First, start with your elders, because you want to get the information. Even if their memory is fuzzy, get as much information as you can. Don't worry so much about birthdays, right? You can use that as a confirmation if they have it. Oh, I remember they were born maybe around September. I can't even remember. That's what I heard. Don't worry about it. The names are really, 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 really important. If you can get names, because even if you don't have the full name, you have pieces of the name. So when you go and you start searching these records, you'll see the name and you say, oh, that's the name right there. So don't be disrespectful. That's one thing. Don't be disrespectful. And number two is ask as many questions as you can, accept as many stories as you can get. And if you can get the family Bible, if they will give it to you, right? Whoever is the holder of the family Bible, if they'll give it to you, take that family Bible. If they won't give it to you, take pictures of the family Bible. Open the family Bible. It usually has names, marriages, christenings, deaths, maybe some obituaries is kind of stuck up in there. Take pictures of all of that stuff. Flip through it, because even though it's the Bible, flip through it. There may be different papers in there. This is the family Bible. They kept everything in there of importance, because it's the only thing they had that was safe, right? Everything else could be taken from them. That Bible, that was theirs. It's the only thing they had was safe. That's why a lot of our ancestors got these big Bibles in their house. You know, you're like, why you got that big? Because it's the only thing they could keep that was safe, that nobody could take from them, because it was their Bible, you know. And they was pushing that tradition. They was pushing that religion, so they weren't going to take that Bible. They want you to keep that. So that's where a lot of those records are. Another place that the records are in the family photo. If you know that there's a family photo album, get that album if they'll give it to you. If they won't give you the album, take pictures. Take all of the pictures that you can. Use your phone. Hell, you can take thousands of pictures. Take all the pictures that you can, even if they don't have names on some. Most of them will have a name on them, but it'll be like a nickname, right? Or I don't really want to say nickname, because it's not actually a nickname. It's the name that the family gave that person. And it's cultural. It's kind of like, you know, what you hear with the Indians is like running bear or jumping tight, whatever. It's kind of one of those names. Because see, that all those traditions came from us. Nicknames. They're not nicknames. They're descriptive names, right? So they might have those descriptive names on there, Doc, or I had a cousin Boogie, you know. Nobody knew Boogie's name, but I have a cousin Boogie, you know. So take those pictures and put them in your phone. You may not know who they go with or whatever, but you can download all of that information into your computer, so you just have a file of pictures. And so as you start looking at those pictures, you start getting a good idea of the familiar traits that you have of your family. And so when you start looking for them, if there's pictures out there, that's my family right there, you know, that kind of thing. So it's valuable. So get that photo album, take pictures of it if they won't let you have it. If they do let you have it, take pictures anyway, and then keep the family photo album. Preserve it, because it's a historical record. Also, I told you, get the family Bible, get photos. The other source is obituaries, okay? And I always wonder, why would people keep these obituaries? Every time I'm going through somebody obituary, why y'all keep that stuff? They did. Now I'm glad they did, right? Because the obituaries can give you a wealth of information, right? They can give you the names of your great-grandfather's mother and father. Because, you know, it's that part where they say preceded in death by his mother and his father, blah, blah, blah. So you get some more names, right? And then there's the names of all of the family members on that, all the children, the grandchildren, everybody on that obituary. And it also usually will tell you where they were born, their date of birth, and the place of birth, right? So get as many obituaries as available to you. Take pictures of them if you can't have them themselves. Don't be so greedy that you want them to give you the stuff. If they are not comfortable giving it to you, don't take it. Just take a picture of it. Right? Don't be mean. Don't be rude. Because this is you. See, your job is to connect your family together. It's not to make them do anything. It doesn't mean that you have to speak to them ever. Your job is restoration. Anchoring your family. That's your job. So don't be rude about it. Okay. Okay. So that's the way, that's the first way and the best way to start gathering information, because you get ready to put your tree together. Right. The next thing that a lot of copper colored people don't know is that the Mormon Church is the sponsor of FamilySearch.org. I'm sure you've heard of Family Search. If you haven't, it's one of those sites like there's Ancestry.com, FamilySearch.org, and MyHeritage. FamilySearch.org is run and sponsored by the Mormon Church, paid for by them, right? Billions of dollars in records. So what these people do is they send missionaries to these different places, and those missionaries go and gather records. And they digitize them, which means they scan them, they take pictures of them, they do whatever they can to get those records. Because one thing that the conqueror promised that he would do when he came over here as a promise for our capture, whatever that they would do, because see, that's how it worked. They come over, they conquer, and then they have to make certain promises, and they made promises to our ancestors that they would preserve our records. Now, I'm not talking about the burning of something or whatever. That wasn't them. This was some different people. They made promises that they would preserve and keep our records, so our records are kept. That's why you can't find yourself in Africa, because all your records are here in the Americas. You don't have to believe me. You can debate it all you want to. I know, because I'm doing my family history. Okay, so because of that, FamilySearch.org, you want to sign up for a free account with FamilySearch.org. You don't have to pay anything, because it's not a paid service. It's a free service, right? Just sign up, right? Then, wherever you are in these Americas, wherever you are, there is a Mormon church close to you. All right? Call up the Mormon church and ask them for the historian, the family historian, the one that helps people do their genealogy, and ask them what days do they help people do their genealogy, because they do this for free. It's really not free. It's a promise that they made to our ancestors. Their ancestors made a promise that they continue to fulfill as a part of them being able to keep the booty, right, that they gain. So ask them, is there a free historian? If there is not, or if there is, but if you having problems getting in touch with that person, the next step is to go to the library, right? County, state library, and ask for the genealogist there, the people who help you do your family history. Most of the times, those people are Mormon, and they will do it for free. They will help you for free. And the other thing about the ones that the libraries, okay, so the Mormon Church has family history centers throughout the countries. Right? And what happens at the family history centers is they have computers that are set up that feed into their servers where you can go in and pull documents from. So even when you sign up with a free account with Family Search, you can only access some records, because they have millions of records, okay? Millions and millions of records. So what you want to do is sometimes you might not be able to pull up that record, that image of the record. You could be able to pull up the information, but the record itself, if you want to see the record, a census, a marriage license, a death certificate, a christening record, military service record, obituary, whatever, you might not be able to pull up the image of it on your computer. But if you go to a family history center, which some of them are at the library, and some of them have little centers somewhere else, but it's usually connected to a library. That's how it works. It's usually connected to a library, and they have special computers there that feed into their servers where you can pull the actual digitize the scan of the document itself. You can save that document to your records, and I would also suggest that you print it out, right? Make sure you take a couple of dollars so you can pay them to print, because printing ain't free. I mean, come on, they got to get the paper, they got to get the ink. So take a couple of dollars and pay for your printing, because I've seen some people do that where they just don't pay for it. Pay for your print, but save it to your computer or to your family search account, however you need to save it, and also print a copy of any records that you need. What I would suggest you do is, if you don't need to go to the Family History Center, then do all of the records that you need to do on your family, on your account, on your online account. And any records that you need, write those names down, and then just make a trip of it so you can get all the records that you need at the time, so you don't have to keep on running back and forth to the library unless it's really close, or unless that's where you're meeting your family historian. But the Mormon Church does it for free. Okay, and they will help you for free. They are committed to helping you, and that's based on a promise. They may try to, compel you to become a Mormon, which I myself would not do, but and you can just tell them, again, being respectful, listen, I'm trying to find my family. My family is not religious. That's not what we believe. They will tell you a story that, all of the native cultures are come under one God or whatever. Listen, I'm trying to find my family. That's what my focus is on right now. So I'm not trying to become a Mormon, but I really appreciate your help. And don't feel bad about telling them that you are not interested in a respectful way. Don't feel bad about it, because, again, they are going according to the promises that their ancestors made our ancestors. So their ancestors said that they would preserve our records and they would help us find them when we look for them, when we start asking. So they will do that. So that's the thing. I'm going to, in this video, call this part 1, and then I'm going to go to the part 2 so I can talk a little bit more, okay? Because this is getting too long.